Potentially big topic here, but let's just jump into it. We're going to talk about selecting photos for a collage. Now, we have a number of pages that are collages. A collage is basically any page that has a lot of pictures on it that aren't portraits. And so that's what we're looking at right here. I made a dummy version of the third soccer page. This isn't the actual one that's in the yearbook, but it's good for our purposes. So anyway, so if you choose the task, which is, if we look down over here, let's find a sports page over here. Here we go. Select images for collage or place images, something like that. What your job is going to be is to find pictures and then put them into the layout. So let's start with the first thing. How do we find pictures? Well, let me back out of here. Sorry, shouldn't have had you guys see that right off the bat. Anyway, here is a complete photo library for the year. These are all the pictures that you guys could possibly need. For the most part right now, you can just stick to the month folders, right? So we have September, October, November, etc. Now what I want you to do is, in this case, we're working on the Thirds soccer team. So Thirds is a fall sport. So we're going to double check one of the fall months right here. So let's go to October. And then I just had this open 21st through 27th. And we can just pick one of the Third soccer folders here. Now you can see there's Third soccer over here. We have cross country. We have some field trips. Depending on what you're looking for, it's in one of these folders. So I'm going to double click on this guy. And it's going to bring up these thumbnails over here. So the first thing that you really need to do is pick the pictures you want to work with. It's better to pick a lot and then narrow them down than it is to find out that you don't have enough to work with. The other thing to keep in mind is Thirds is a season-long sport. So that means that you might find 2 or 3 good shots from this game and then you want to move on. But let's just try this game for now. So when I'm looking for pictures, I'm less concerned with these kinds of shots where we have a whole lot of people and no real focus of what's going on than I am for shots like, well, let's find a good one here. Scrolling down. Here we go. We can actually see Chris in these doing a throw-in, which is pretty cool. Get some action shots down here. So we're just kind of cruising around looking for a shot that highlights kind of a cool moment of like athletic ability or something like that. I like this picture of George. He's like really giving a good kick right there. So we're going to go with this. So what I'm going to do is I am going to download it by clicking the 3 dots, and I'm going to go to download. And I'm just waiting here a second. It's going to give me the download. There it goes. This is my Chrome browser. If I do this, if I click on this little folder thing, it's going to show me where it downloaded to. It's in my downloads. I'm going to drag this over. And, oh, I should show you what I'm doing over here. So I made a new folder on my desktop called Third Soccer Yearbook Pictures. It's just a place for me to dump these pictures as I go. Again, I might not use all of them, but I will use some of them, and I want them all to be in one spot. So there we go. I moved it into that folder. And just for fun, let's pick one more from this particular game. Here we go. We got Owen doing something cool over here. There we go. I like that. Owen might not like it, but I like it. And we're going to do the same thing. We are going to download the picture. Let's find, sorry. It's this little icon right here when you're in the preview. So we're going to download it. And we are going to find where it is. I can see right here. I'm actually just going to drag it into my desktop folder. It says Thirds Yearbook Soccer Pics. Awesome. So let's pretend that I've gone through a whole bunch of these, and I really, really need you guys to do that. You can't just kind of sit on one game. We have different teams. We have different people playing at different times. It's super important to make sure that the yearbook pictures kind of represent the whole experience, all different players and stuff like that. Or if you're doing a collage for like a grade level thing, you don't want the same 2 or 3 kids showing up over and over again. So anyway, let's go back to my layout over here. And we have all these blank placeholders. This is what you're going to be working with. Any one of these is where we'd be able to drop our photo. Now, if you are smarter than me, you might not do this, but in the past, I have done this thing where I'm like, oh, I'm just going to drop it over here. Wait a second, that just opens it in my browser. Spoiler alert, the software that puts this yearbook together kind of sucks. So it's not really a drag and drop kind of situation. What you actually need to do here is, here, I'm going to get out of here. In our little left area here, we are going to click photo. and we're going to upload right here. So this is if you haven't uploaded the pictures yet, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new category, and I'm going to call it Third Soccer. And I don't really care about the color, but the parent category is sports, and I'm going to create the category Bing Bang Bong, and then I'm going to take these two pictures, drop them over here. We're going to wait for them to upload. Here they go. Woohoo! And now I have two to pick from. From here, what I want to do is look at the orientation of the pictures that I have. One of them is wide, one of them is tall. Super cool. So let's take Owens and drop him over here. Beautiful. That looks great. Okay, very cool. So that's a good wide shot. Now, maybe it's actually, this might be cropped better as a square. So what we can do is we can actually move the edges here. And I lost a little bit of the coolness right there because we made it smaller. So I'm going to really, really focus in on Owen over here. We're going to save the photo. Now that's a cool picture. Nice. But what we have left is this sawtooth area over here. So we can either bring in another frame and put that over here. But what I'm going to do, just to show you guys that we can do this, is I'm going to drop this frame all the way down to here. Now we have a super tall frame. Very cool. Now what this might work well with is this super tall picture of George. See? George is going straight up and straight down here. So let's crop and edit. You can see it's always, the crop is going to be the same shape as the frame that it's in. So this one's tall and skinny. Here we go. So we do that, and we hit save photo. Bam. Now we have a cool action shot of George. It almost looks like he's passing it. Well, he is passing it to Owen over here. But this is how we construct the collage. Now, again, I need you guys to make sure that you're not just kind of picking from one game. I want you to try to get a couple different uniforms, stuff like that. And what I recommend is building up this folder. Maybe drop 20 pictures in here that you find that you like. Once you have dropped them in, you should make sure that you hit save on the page. Now, when we go back to our ladder view and we scroll all the way down, I just made this dummy page in the back. La 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 la, we're going. And should be around 122 or something like that. Yeah, here we go. Gonna click on this, and you can see our pictures are right there. So this is the task of selecting images for collage and then also placing image. This is combined. In some instances, selecting the image for the collage is its own task, right? There's so many pictures to pick from that one person might want to do that and the other person might want to be the person who's styling the layout. So you guys can do that kind of as you see fit, but just make sure that you're sticking with marking things blue, then yellow, then green, or actually blue, then yellow, and then I make it green. But this is kind of like one of the more visual oriented versions of stuff that we can do for the yearbook. So do this, and this is a huge help if we can get these done. Awesome. Great job, everyone.